Am I on? There we go.
Should we
Anytime,
start?
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Ya da 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 ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 ya da da da. Ya da 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 ya da da da. Ya da da. Ya da da. Ya da da ya da da da. Ya da da.
We'll just give a minute for people to get.
We can have a mosh pit in the middle if we want.
That's one idea. Another idea is just to put a row of chairs up
Yeah, we have a row of chairs there.
But in any case, welcome, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's good to be with you. We're going to begin.
If we get one more row.
We're moving in chairs, and while we're doing that, we're going to welcome in Shabbat. We'll invite Alicia and Josh, page 2 in our prayer book. I don't know. It's been a long time since we mentioned this, and because hostages are in the news pretty much every day now, we started adding the third candle right after October 7th when the hostages were taken, and we have been lighting it every week until the hostages come home. You good? Although there is a tradition that once you start doing something, you don't stop doing it. So we might just keep lighting 3 candles because the more light, the better. Susan. Lehadlikner, shel Shabbat. It's fine. You're good.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I'll add another one down there.
We'll continue with Kabbalat Shabbat.
No worries, yeah.
On page 13. Shiru Ladonai. We'll sing a song. I guess we'll just wait a minute till we get ourselves settled.
Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru B'yom Le'yom Yeshuato. One more time. Shiru לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, מסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו הגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומחולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, מסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני one more time. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני מסרו שמו, מסרו מיום ליום ישועתו.
Continuing Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming in Shabbat with, on page 19, the last two lines of the Hebrew, that's the end of Psalm 29.
Adonai oz le'amo yitin, Adonai yevarech et amo. Adonai oz le'amo yitin, Adonai yevarech et amo.
And on page 20, just the next page, L'chadodi, we welcome in the Shabbat presence, we welcome in Shabbat with light, and we'll welcome in the Shabbat presence, and when we're done with that, we have an opportunity to welcome one another as well. 1, 2, 5, and 9.
L'chadodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. l'chadodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המאוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם מול תפארת ולתהילה. l'chadodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. l'chadodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נזוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. l'chadodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. l'chadodi לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה.
Before you sit down, we'll take a moment to wish one another Shabbat Shalom, maybe move around the room a bit for about 2 minutes.
Shabbat, where everyone got so quiet. Tov lehodod l'Adonai, mizmor shir leyom haShabbat. Tov lehodod l'Adonai, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon, ulzamer l'shimcha elyon, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, צדיק כתמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינובון בסבע, דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא עוולת אבו. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברה חירותה וימליך מלכותה בחייכון ויומכון ובחיית כל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמת קודשה ברכו לילה מן כה בחטא ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. Die 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 ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים.
Turning the page, read the first 6 lines together. Everlasting God, offer to your people Israel, by teaching us Torah and Mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, will meditate on your laws and your commandments.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, והם נהגי יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen.
On page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. Together, the high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Micha Mocha on page 40.
Micha Mocha, Ha'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha, Nedar B'Kodesh, Nora, Tehilot, Osef Eleh, Nora, Tehilot, Osef Eleh, Malchutecha, Ra'u Banecha, Bokei Hayam Lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Zeli, Anu ve'ameru, Adonai Imlok, Le'olam va'ed, Adonai Imlok, Le'olam va'ed. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai. Yai dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. ונאמר כי בלע אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Hashkivenu, our nighttime prayer, page 42.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Save us for the Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu
Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Take a moment now for Misha Berach. We turn to page 253. I think that translation, or that version of Hashkivenu is very beautiful, and I have a lot of respect for Dan Nichols. I, however, don't believe that we'll ever be kept totally from pain. And that's why we have prayers like Misha Berach and Hashkivenu, so that we can hold ourselves up and get strength from one another and get help from God. This is why we have these prayers. So we have Misha Berach here. The first paragraph is for all of us. Take a moment to think about what is it that we need in this very moment to make our lives a blessing, and then we'll share the names of the members of our community, our family, our friends who are in need of healing, and then we'll go on to sing the second paragraph and ask for refuah shlema, the renewal of body, and the renewal of spirit for all those in need. So we begin together in that first paragraph.
Source of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
We hold in our hearts for healing Ellen Apple, Julie Arnheim, Ronnie Lindberg, Peggy Boone, Alex Botkin, Jimmy Broff, Chuck Davis, Eileen Davis, Joanne Mandel DeWitt, Jeannie Grinwald, Melissa Helton, Kate Can, Naum Kaplan, Al Camper, Sally Littman, Laura Marshak, Hal Mendelowitz, Paloma Marcella Quattrini, Nancy Rosenthal, Bud Roth, Cheryl Sachs Dowling, Stephen Schimmel, Dan Schwartz, Benjamin F. Siegel, Fran Weiss, Jonathan Wind, Kayla Wright, James J.H.E., Deborah Zients, Yermatia Shulamit Bat Miriam, Chava Gital Bat Toiba, Yehudit Bat Adina. Other names for Misha Berach? Continue with the second paragraph of Misha Berach.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
turn back to page 44, at the top of the page, Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמים את הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת, שבת, שבת וינפש. ושמרו, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. ושמרו, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. ושמרו, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. ושמרו, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת.
Come now to the tefillah. Begins on page 46 with an opening meditation. We'll sing that together, and then everyone will do the tefillah on their own. You can stand up, you can sit down when you're finished, and we'll all gather together on page 62 at the end. Please rise as you're able.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia yitehil'atecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Yihiu leratzonim refi, v'hegion libi. Yihiu leratzonim refi, v'hegion libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri vegohali, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri vegohali. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true, be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you. May they be acceptable to you, O my rock, O my rock, and my redeemer, and my redeemer.
I suspect that some of you know that immediately, well, about a half hour after service ends, we'll be reconvening in the sanctuary for a recital by Alicia Diurba Pollock. And but you get two chances. There are two chances to hear from her tonight. She's going to offer Devar Torah and some thoughts about her her recital later on. So, Alicia. Do you want a microphone?
Oh, yeah, we probably
I'll get you one.
should have thought of that. Sorry.
Do you mind?
Apologies.
Oh, I get the rabbi's microphone.
It's really not great. It's really hard to keep on my ear. Maybe it'll be easier to keep on yours.
Yeah, I'll just tuck it under my headband. Shabbat Shalom. For those of you who I've not had the pleasure to meet, my name is Alicia Diurba. I'm an opera singer. I'm the president and co-founder of Thousand Bridges Opera Company. Tonight after our service, I will be presenting a vocal recital, Look to the Light, a celebration of Black History Month inspired by the poetry of Langston Hughes. Thousand Bridges Opera is dedicated to bringing joyful music to all through educational programming, inclusive performance, and social justice initiatives. We program accessible live entertainment and arts enrichment to a diverse community. Thousand Bridges Opera is committed to the inclusion, celebration, and advancement of historically marginalized artists. So, I'm the daughter of a community organizer / therapist and a professional musician. I'm also a Reformed Jew. So, of course, I would start a social justice opera company. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about light tonight. This week's Parsha, Truma, describes the first menorah. Now, not a Hanukkah, but the six-armed menorah that was to stand in the tabernacle. We are a people that love to shine light. We have the menorah in the tabernacle. We have the Hanukkah miracle. Every week, we start Shabbat by candlelight. And we mark the end of it with the lighting and extinguishing of the Havdalah candle. We also have the Ner Tamid, the eternal light, which is always shining above the ark. In addition to this physical light, we also have our metaphorical light. We have a long history of shining a light on injustice and giving voice to the voiceless. We are no strangers to social justice, tikkun olam, and the fight for diversity, equity, and inclusion. So as I was putting together the program for this evening's recital, I wanted to focus on shedding light on the stories that are often unheard or even more frequently ignored. Langston Hughes was a master of giving voice to the unheard. So tonight I'll feature 5 of his poems, as well as an aria from the operatic adaptation of Street Scene by Kurt Weill, for which he was the librettist. I'd like to share one of his poems, Luck, with you right now. Sometimes a crumb falls from the tables of joy. Sometimes a bone is flung. To some people, love is given. To others, only heaven. Tonight's recital will focus on the others. In these writings, he captures the pain of a woman following her partner's lynching in the Deep South in Song to a Dark Girl. In the poems Luck and Litany, we follow the chasing of an American dream that is all but unattainable when one is placed in the margins of society. In the aria, Somehow I Never Could Believe, the story of an abused housewife is told, a woman unable to escape her circumstances due to financial, emotional, and physical abuse. However, the Black American story is not just a story of pain. Daybreak in Alabama speaks of a dream of equity and cooperation in the joy of rural American life, working the land and connecting with nature. Stars takes us to the urban experience and endless possibilities and hope for a greater world. So tonight, I hope you'll stay after the service and bear witness to these stories. I also wanted to take a moment tonight to talk about tzedakah, which loosely translates as philanthropy or charitable giving. Truma begins, "The Eternal One spoke to Moses, saying, 'Tell the Israelite people to bring me gifts. You shall accept gifts from every person whose heart is so moved.'" Now, as somebody who spent their entire life in the arts and now as an arts administrator, and I know how much arts organizations rely on donations, of course, this is a parsha I have special affinity for. I often think of the second line, "Tell the Israelite people to bring me gifts," Truma. You shall accept gifts for me from every person whose heart is so moved. And I always pray people's hearts will be moved to support the arts. Following news of the National Endowment for the Arts eliminating funding for underserved groups for the promotion of diversity, equity, inclusion, or gender ideology, so much funding is now disappearing. Other funding becomes stretched, and so donations of the heart become more important. The National Endowment for the Arts has recently ended their Challenge Grant program, which provides grants to arts organizations like mine. Thousand Bridges Opera has had to change our planning due to the new guidelines of the current administration. Our mission statement that affirms our values of the equity and inclusion of a diverse group of artists makes us ineligible for federal funds. We are unwilling to compromise on that. We find it important to be affirming of our artists' gender and to celebrate diversity in the arts. We want to make all of our artists feel welcome and free to express themselves. So we refuse to change our mission statement. We're not the only organization out there that's having this problem. So if the arts aren't your thing, consider a donation to your local food bank, your immigrant resource center, shelter for LGBTQIA+ teens, mental health support services. They're all faced with the same challenges. This Parsha is about building a place for the spirit of the community to dwell. Following the traumatic experience of the exodus from Egypt, the Israelites were commanded in this Parsha, "Let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them." Building that sanctuary in these difficult times is what we can do, whether we contribute money, time, music, or whatever way our hearts are so moved. Thank you. I hope to see you all at the recital tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. Alicia, that was Alicia's very first of our Torah, so we'll send you some love. And thank you for the message, the talk about this more tomorrow, but in the Torah portion, Truma, everyone has a gift. Every person has a different gift. And in fact, that's true, that's life, right? But each one of us, when we give those gifts towards the community, then we are towards a common goal of justice, of compassion, of understanding, of peace, health, equity. Then we have an opportunity, we can do it if we each put our own piece, whatever it is that you do well, like you said. So thank you for that, for reminding us of that message of Truma. You can use my microphone anytime. We'll continue now with Aleinu on page 282. Please rise as you're able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחת האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו ושמו אחד.
If you need to sit, that's fine. Kaddish is on page 294. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. So in the Shabbat, we mark the Shloshim, 30 days since the death of Josh Hathaway, Millie Mandel, Susan Harris-Ross, Stanley Tracton, and Carol Beth Yaffe. We also remember those who died at this season in years past, whose yard site we observe on this Shabbat. Ronald Bronstein, Dan Danovitz, Robert Dickman, Sylvia Feldstein, Emmanuel Benjamin Friedberg, Clara Block-Hallman, Pearl Haber, Celia Hepner, Helen Kamen, Rita Leff, Marty Lerner, Samuel Layton, Alan Menachoff, Sophie Myers, Alfred Nayhouse, Claire Oringer, Stanley V. Ostro, S. Raymond Rakoff, Ray Rosenblum, Dorothy Roth, Bernard Roth, Dr. Bernard H. Shepman, Paul Tabor, Elliot Weinberg, Pearl Wolf Weisfield. Also, we mark the passing of 4 hostages whose bodies were returned to Israel this week: Yitzchak Elgarat, Tzachi Idan, Ohad Yahalomi, and Shlomo Mansour. And also, although it's not Kaddish for them yet, just to acknowledge the death of our member, Ed Mandel, and the brother of our member, Tin Littman, James William Littman. Are there any other names for Kaddish tonight? Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be for blessing. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, v'alma divrach irute, v'amlich malchute, b'chayachon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei d'chol bei Yisrael, b'gala v'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei barach ulam olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, Vita dar, vita lev, vita lal, shmeda kudasha, berchu. Leila, minko, berchata, v'shirata, tishbechata, v'nechamata, demiran, v'alma, v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama, rabba, min shmaya, v'chaim, aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu, kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. You may be seated. So we already announced that following the special an oneg sponsored by Rita and David Pollock in honor of Alicia, we'll have an oneg, so make sure that we have something to eat before the concert or the recital, which is at 7 o'clock in the sanctuary. On March 1st, I think that's tomorrow. All are welcome after services or just at 11:30 tomorrow. For the Women of Road of Shalom is hosting a lunch and learn to focus on reproductive rights. It's kind of called Repro Shabbats throughout the Reform movement, in the post-Roe versus Wade era. Other announcements? Purim is coming, so we'll be joining with Tree of Life on Erev Purim. That's the 13th for Megillah reading and the Megillah reading and the Spiel. And our carnival is on Sunday, March 9th. Anything else? Okay. Well, as always, our accompanist, Don McGahan, our cantor, Toby Glasser and I are just so happy to be with you. It's a lovely pleasure to welcome in Shabbat with you. Following our Kiddush and Motzi, Kiddush is on page 4. We'll be singing Yah Ribon, which is on page 333.
ויהי ויבוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים היום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Page 333. 333.
Yaribon olam ve'amaya, Antu malka melech malchaya, Ovar gevutech vetimchaya, Shafar kadamach lehavaya. Yaribon olam, ve'almaya antu malka, Antu malka, melech malchaya. Yaribon olam, ve'almaya antu malka, melech malchaya. Yaribon olam ve'almaya, Antu malka melech malchaya, Ovar gevurtech vetimchaya, Shafar kadamach lehavaya. Yaribon olam, ve'almaya antu malka, melech malchaya. Yaribon olam, ve'almaya antu malka, melech malchaya. Yaribon olam, ve'almaya antu malka, melech malchaya.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.